Nothing else. Only if you give respect, oh, Kaliyata, Mariyata, then they will start shouting, hey, Enada, all those things. And never believe. Never give respect.
During hypnotism, it's the raw chakra gets manipulated.
Oh, if you are hypnotized, you are in a big danger, your crown chakra, your brow chakra will be disturbed. Never allow to, never get hypnotized. Never allow anybody to hypnotize you.
Can anyone do it without
Make your brow chakra strong, then nobody can do. If your brow chakra is weak, then people can play with you. You have to be careful about it.
Another reason why people apply.
Yes. If you apply kumkum, nobody can hypnotize you. If you have kumkum, nobody can hypnotize you. They can't penetrate beyond kumkum. That's why women are asked to keep kumkum. So that nobody, What else you want? You can put cow dung also. That's also one more way. No other way. Kumkum is the only way. If kumkum is only way means what can we say? That's the only way our masters found. If at all you want, you can experiment with cow dung. All the other things.
Everybody will run away.
Huh?
Everybody will run away.
Now find out some new technique. Yes. No, there is no, all these things are just beliefs. Forget about it. See, in San Jose, not San Jose or San Diego, in America, there was some house. They say ghost haunted house. 18 ghosts are living there. Nobody can go. As of now, 200 people went and all the 200 came out only with some injury. Even journalists went and they all came out with injury. They photographed this, that, so many things they told. I told, all right, let me go. And I went and came out, nothing happened. Ghosts all ran away, what to do? And I went inside and came out, nothing happened. Perfectly all right, everything was right. Nothing happened. So all these things are just, because of your faith you get affected, nothing. Don't bother.
Why does negative energy exist?
No, negative energy is non-existent. Non-existence of energy only is negative energy. Understand? Light is a positive energy. Shadow is a negative energy. But shadow has no positive existence. Shadow is nothing but lightlessness. So energylessness is negative energy, that's all. As such, negative energy has no positive existence. Please be very clear. As such, negative energy has no positive existence. This mic has got positive existence. This shadow has got positive existence? No. So this mic is positive energy. This shadow is negative energy. That's all. Negative energy has no existence as such. Energylessness, lightlessness is called as shadow. See, if you see verbally, mic and mic shadow, both look like same. But existentially, mic is existing, shadow doesn't exist. So, verbally positive energy, negative energy, two words exist. Existentially, only positive energy exists. Negative energy is lightlessness, that's all. Energylessness, it doesn't exist. So forget about all this evil spirit. There is nothing called evil spirit.
So how do you, so we are all here trying to get things.
No, you are all here to create positive energy, that's all. Not to destroy negative energy. Negative energy will automatically disappear. If you create light naturally, you don't have to fight with darkness. Darkness will disappear. See, anger is conscious. When you don't have consciousness, you get anger. Anger is nothing but no awareness. If you are, as long as you are aware, you will not be angry.
No, but when you get anger, it becomes
automatically you are not.
That's what I'm saying. Increase your consciousness and awareness, you will not have anger. Just increase your intelligence. Alright, just tell me. Are you getting angry with your boss? You don't show. If you show, what will happen? You lose the job. If you show it in the office, you lose the job. If you show it in the house, you lose food. So you don't show. But if it is, if you see that person is a weak, lesser than you, what do? You jump on him and bite him. Just have intelligence. When you can control yourself there, why not here? That's all. Next.
Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be the book that you are supposed to follow. It doesn't talk about, or at least as I know, about your meditation, enlightenment, or not a meditative, as far as I know, maybe not.
There's a separate chapter called Dhyana Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. At least 200 times the word Dhyana is used in Bhagavad Gita. There are so many hundreds of techniques given in Bhagavad Gita. Please read Bhagavad Gita completely. Next. There's a separate chapter called Dhyana Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. And the Purushottama Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all these things are completely on Dhyana. Why the second chapter? Second chapter itself is completely meditation. Nayanam Jindandi Sastrani Nayanam Dagadi Bhava. Did you read only first chapter or what? Only in first chapter there is no meditation. Other than first chapter, all chapters deal about meditation. I think you read only first chapter and close the book. Go and read at least second chapter, Sankhya Yoga.
I'm wondering why you decided to create your own system. Because other systems had existed before and people have reached enlightenment using those. So what is the reason that you felt that a new system was needed?
One thing. If you use a certain amount of pesticide to kill the insects, within 2 generations, the pesticide insects start living, eating that pesticide. They become more powerful. So now you have to increase the strength of the pesticide. So you guys have won the Buddha. You are all conquerors of Buddhas. Buddha came, Shankara came, Nagarjuna came, Chaitanya came, Ramakrishna came. You are all outclaiming Buddhas. So now I am increasing the pesticide. You see, Buddha came and created a technique. By and by your minds have become so strong. You start living even after the technique. Your minds are not dying. Just how the insects have become immune to the pesticide, you become immune to the Buddha's techniques. Then Shankara came and created a new set of techniques. Again people have become immune to Shankara's techniques also. Then came Chaitanya and created a new set of techniques. After 2 generations people have become immune to Chaitanya's technique also. So now Ramakrishna came and created a technique. After 1 generation people have become immune to his techniques also. Then Ramana Maharshi came and created. Again people have become immune to his system also. Now I have come. At least for next few generations, my technique will be solid. Then you guys will become immune to my techniques also. Then somebody else has to come. It is just increasing the dosage of pesticide. That's all, nothing else.
You have to be alive so that your technique will be effective.
Oh. For my techniques to work, my presence is not necessary. Your presence is enough. For my techniques to work, my presence is not necessary. Your presence is enough. Next.
Question on human origin. There's this theory, Darwin, that says we evolved from animals from this planet. There's also another theory which I read that says souls in esoteric body came from another planet and inhabit this planet. That says that we are not originally this planet. What do you think?
Now I have to give, I think, funny answers. Are you asking whether Darwin's theory is right or we landed from the other planet? Huh?
Soul body.
Yeah.
Soul body.
Alien theory. Soul body theory. What is that soul body theory?
Theory that says in etheric body, souls came and inhabited this planet. Started the body.
They came from a different alien planet.
basically about human origin.
See one thing, whatever has happened, you are here. Am I right? Am I right or not? Why don't you work to solve some problem which you have? If you ask me how to grow a little more hair, Swamiji, it will be more practical and useful. It will be useful for your life. You see, even if I answer now whether Darwin's theory is right or alien's theory is right, how much it is going to be useful when you cross this gate? Tell me. These are all just waste of time. That's the reason I always tell people, don't waste your time in putting philosophical questions. Time with me is so rare commodity. You will not have it once more. Why don't you ask some practical question? If you ask how to live happily with my wife, Swamiji, it is going to be useful. Are you married? No, then okay. Then God save you. Anyhow, if you ask some practical question, how to solve some of your life's problems, it will be useful. To tell you honestly, alien's theory and Darwin's theory both are wrong. And there is some other theory is there, Big Bang and black hole. That's right. But I can neither explain Big Bang black hole theory to you, nor speak about the whole thing. That's one thing. Next thing, even if you know about all those things, there is no use. You understand? No use. Don't waste your time just by putting philosophical questions. The time with me is such a rare commodity. Why do you waste it? Use it for some useful purpose. I've always seen these fellows. They will ask some philosophical nonsense questions. I used to tell people, see, I am a professional philosopher. If you want philosophy, I can just speak anything and everything. It is my profession. But why do you waste your time? People come and ask me, how to, please Swamiji give me some Vasya mantra for 1800 Kali. How to do Vasya, Ashtadasabha Mahalakshmi Durga Devi, some Kali, some these, that, Devatas. Nowadays, like a fashion designing, every month new gods are coming, being launched in the market. Now, latest popular market is Ugra Pratyangara. Ugra Pratyangara, Sarabeswarar, Neela Saraswati, Kalini, some new gods are being launched. Now, New York fashion designing, every month at least some new 10 items will come in the market. Any of you have seen that fashion TV? That shooting they do in the New York only. And every month they will release some 10-15 dresses. Something like that nowadays in the modern day, every month some 10-15 cars are coming to the field. Whomsoever catches market, they stay. They leave, other guys, they leave.
That's why buy a new car.
That's what. So be careful about all this wasting time.
Something related to what you just said, practical. There's this morning Ram was saying about growing up with kids, bringing up with kids. He said first 7 years you typically leave them be. That's not possible in today's life. What is your recommendation? How much do you guide them? How much do you let them choose on their own?
I think at least till the age of 7 you can leave them completely. Till the age of 7, what do you think the mistake they will do? What big mistakes they will do until the age of 7, tell me.
No, it's not that. You basically want them to learn some swimming. They say, no, I don't want to learn. So you think it's good for them because...
Till the age of 7, let them do whatever they want. Put them in the school after the age of 7. And now America also has decided. See, after long research, they have decided no kids will be allowed in the school before the age of 7, you know. Many states have passed law. You can't put kids in the school before 7. All the educated countries are coming back to our Gurukulam system. Don't put the kids before the age of 7 in the school. Why do you torture them, putting them in the school, and the teachers are mentally retarded fellows? Most of these teachers are mentally retarded fellows. They need treatment, psychiatric treatment. They don't need respect. They need psychiatric treatment. Taking stick and beating the kids, torturing them, unnecessarily putting them in the 4 classrooms, all this nonsense. I tell you, be very clear. If you put your kids in the school before the 7, they will put you in old age home. Because they will not have love for you. The love and intelligence will not be there. The care will not be there. Be very clear. Never put them in school before the age of 7. See, till the age of 7, let them be as they are. All the countries who are seriously doing research on indigo children. Have you heard of these indigo children? Lot has come out now about the indigo children. Nobody has read about indigo children. You guys don't keep. What is this? I know much more about the society. Indians are good clerks, but not great managers. If at all you escape from the school, then you will become CEO. You see, many people ask me, Swamiji, you are going around all over the world every day. Practically every day I give a public discourse. Every day, somewhere or other I am speaking all over the world. I never speak with notes. I don't think these are notes, these are your names. I never speak with notes. Hours together I am speaking. Any question you are asking, continuously I am responding to questions all over the world. One professor asked him, one university professor, Swamiji, to give 1 hour lecture, I have to prepare at least 3 hours. How are you speaking continuously hours together all over the world? You neither have time to prepare. If at all I have to prepare, I will have to prepare 10 days for 1 year, one program. You neither prepare nor get ready. You come and spontaneously speak hours together. Above all, answering the questions. People are continuously throwing questions from all corners. You are answering questions. How are you able to do? One guy asked him, one professor asked him. I told the only reason is I never went to school properly. I safeguarded my intelligence from teachers. I tell you really honestly, teachers are the first fellows who will make you dull. These fellows, all mentally retarded fellows. No, really. If they fight with their wife or husband, they will show all the anger on the kids. Why do you think that fellows see teachers? Do you see even a single teacher fellow smiling or happy? Maybe as an exemption, some 1 or 2. All these fellows are psychiatric patients. Depressed, continuously shouting, vomiting, filled with anger and nonsense. All over the world I am seeing teachers. First thing, all these fellows should be put in for treatment. Kids should be liberated. I am talking something serious, really. Now I am creating a system. No exam, no question of comparing. You see, in a class, even if 100 people are there, only one person can come first. You encourage one person and discourage all the 99 fellows. You are sacrificing 99 goats to save one goat. What foolishness it is. The moment you tell some kid you are not useful, you are second rank, you are third rank, you are not useful, you are dull fellow, he will become that. He will trust what you say. He will trust what you start telling. Never torture kids putting in school before 7. And never rank them. Tell your teachers, for my son, don't rank. Even if he is first class, first rank, don't rank. I don't want my son to have the idea that I am first, I am second, I am third, I am 13th, I am 20th. You start arresting or blacking this Vishuddhi Chakra at the age of 7 itself. Comparison and jealousy. If at all our school system can be stopped, all the violence in the planet Earth will disappear. Violence starts at the age of 4 or 5 itself. You tell him that fellow is first class, you are third class. What he will do? He will throw stone from back. Why he should be first class? Let me steal his paper. Let me steal his pen. It is you who is inspiring all violence. It is you who is reason for all the violence. Never put your kids in the school and torture them. Try to liberate them at least till the age of 7. If you are really intelligent, start doing the homeschooling. Now all over the world it is becoming popular, that homeschooling. All the major universities have recognized the idea of homeschooling. Directly appearing for 10th. All my kids, all our devotees kids, all our ashramites, my close devotees kids, I called them to Indian ashram. And now we are starting a project. Officially we started, and it will be getting solidified. I am starting a project of Gurukulam. Directly they will appear at the SSLC exam, board exam.